The March and game week for Auburn versus Penn State is mounting. The excitement and the tension seems to be growing as well, especially on social media, probably more so from the Penn State fans. There's been a lot of speculation about the atmosphere in the Whiteout game. Let's talk about it, whether Auburn's prepared for the atmosphere there in Penn State, and I want to hear your thoughts as well. My name is Kyle, the editor of the E2C network, where the Auburn family speaks. Our content here and on our podcast network may tend to be Auburn sports heavy, but if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. If you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe along with that notification bell so you never miss any content. Thank you to members like Linda Bird who help produce videos like this. Let's just go ahead and put it right out there. This is the game of the week for week 3 of college football. We've all known it was going to be that from the get-go. As soon as we looked down that schedule for week 3 and saw the other games that were available, there was no other choice for the game of the week, and moreover, the game that was going to be featured for College Game Day, especially if Auburn came out in its first 2 games, and Penn State for that matter, and produced and went into this game undefeated. The marketing pitch now has hit overdrive, with Auburn fans and Penn State's anticipating alike. The interesting thing, though, that's been going on as we get closer to the game is a lot of back and forth, and maybe forth from the Penn State fans, especially on social media, about how Auburn fans are not prepared for what they're about to experience at this game at Penn State, especially in a whiteout game. Now, there's been several other gimmicks out there for blackouts with Georgia, or, we even do something similar at Auburn where we'll put all orange, all white, all blue, all that kind of stuff. We don't make as big a deal about it. Now, I've heard tales and seen games with the whiteout, and it looks really cool. In fact, I'm really disappointed that I won't be able to be there this year, and I'm super jealous of all of you that'll get to go experience. So, Penn State fans, if you're listening to this, please just hear me out. We are impressed by it already, and we are super excited about experiencing that, even if it's vicariously through the TV. So there's no disrespect in terms of the atmosphere that you're going to have for us to experience. The thing that I take exception with is whether we're prepared for that and haven't experienced something similar before. I've come up with a list of 5, let's just say 5 SEC teams, SEC stadiums, some of them I visited myself, that I think are worthy of us saying that we are well prepared for the whiteout game. I'm sure there's going to be some differences of opinion on this, even amongst the Auburn fans, but let's just talk about a few of them. Number 5, you got to throw them on the list just because of the way college football is going right now, Alabama. Pains me to say it, but hey, I'm just going to be honest here. Bryant-Denny Stadium, it's just tough to win in regardless of whether they have a good atmosphere or not, so just by nature of that, the atmosphere is pretty great. It's tough to go into Bryant-Denny and get a win from Nick Saban and his crew there that just keep steamrolling through people. And, they do boast a pretty good attendance numbers there, comparable with Penn State. So Alabama does have to be on this list, and Auburn visits them every other year, so something that we're accustomed to. Bo Nix has been there too, so he's experienced that. Number 4, I'm going to be really out on a limb here and say Stark Vegas. For Penn State fans, that would be Starkville, Mississippi, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Now, not the biggest stadium in the world, not the most prolific program out there, but have you ever watched a game with the Cowbells? It'll drive you nuts. And while it doesn't make the great atmosphere for the away team, that's not the point, right? The atmosphere is supposed to be for the home team, get them excited and to mess with the away team. So if you're really going to talk about atmosphere and its advantage for a home team, you've really got to look at Starkville, and I would probably throw them into the conversation. Maybe not necessarily as cool as a whiteout. I mean, it's a cowbell after all, but still something that's really hard to contend with if you're the away team. And Auburn sees them every other year as well, so they're just like Alabama, well prepared in terms of noise factor, especially annoying noise. Number 3, Texas A&M. They have their name home of the 12th man because they consider their fans the 12th man because it gets so loud in there. Another humongous SEC stadium with the fan base to boot. And they're real weird over there, and this is not me just taking a dig at Texas A&M fans because of how weird they are. They'll admit it themselves, but with their little chants and their voodoo things, we thought voodoo stuck down in LSU, but nope, it's over there in Texas A&M as well. Incredible atmosphere. Same thing here. Auburn sees them every other year out there in College Station. So another team that they get to see quite often on their home turf with an intimidating environment. These last 2 I've been to myself, and actually I've been to Stark Vegas myself as well, but these last 2 I would rank highly up there just from personal experience alone. Florida is number 2, the Swamp. I will tell you, it is one of the worst venues to get into your seats, but once you're in there, wow, what an incredible atmosphere and experience. It is just beautiful. It's everything that you expect college football to be. And there's something about the acoustics of that oddly shaped stadium. I don't know if that giant wall that they have, that I guess is a bunch of their suites, is supposed to reverberate the sound back and forth, but it is just intense. Bo Nix went to this in his freshman year, and might I add, for better or worse, probably did about as good as you can as a freshman quarterback in there outside of winning the game. So he's been through this and experienced that, and he's also been through all of these other teams that we're going to be talking about as well. So he's experienced what's going to be probably the loudest and probably the best overall environment in the SEC when you talk about, we're not including Auburn in this list, okay? We're being fair here, taking the orange and blue glasses off. Number 1, LSU. Everybody hates LSU. Even LSU fans hate it, especially this year. I'm just kidding. LSU Death Valley, it has the name for a reason. It's where dreams go to die, as Les Miles used to say when he was the head coach there. I have been there, and I can tell you it is the worst experience that I have had as a college football fan. My wife got punched in the stomach for no reason. I got cussed out by a 90-year-old and then a 9-year-old in back-to-back, just walking up the stairs to my seats. Tiger bait that gets thrown in your face. They're drunk before, it even starts. It is a wild, crazy experience that if you have the chance to go to Death Valley, just more power to you if you've got that bravery in you. I've done it once, and that was probably the last time that I'll ever do it. So LSU, in terms of a non-friendly experience for the away team, is the worst in a good way, obviously, if you're the home team for an SEC team or a team to experience in general. So when you look at this list, Alabama, Starkville, Texas A&M, Florida, and LSU, all of these teams have attributes that are going to have prepared Auburn to experience the level of intensity and craziness of this whiteout game. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not going to affect Auburn and that it's not going to be that big of a deal, because I know it's going to be a big deal. We've known this. Penn State fans hear us out. But to assert that we're not prepared for that because we haven't been through anything like that, I give you this list, and I'm probably leaving a few off. Sorry, Georgia fans. That could probably be in this list as well. So what do you think? Auburn fans especially, let me know if you think there are other stadiums that you think would have prepared Auburn for this, teams that they've experienced already. And even if you're a Penn State fan, if you're offended by this, I'm sorry. But again, as I said, we respect the environment. Don't think we're not prepared for it, though. If you enjoyed content like this, please help support it by smashing that like button. If you want more content from us, be sure to hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live stream. There's also other ways to help support our content listed in the description, such as the Booster Club or becoming a channel member by hitting that join button. Thank you for tuning into the E2C Network, where the Auburn family speaks. War Eagle.